Hello everyone. I'd like to present my PowerPoint about comparative literature, chapter 5. So I'd like to talk about the right. So um, it's about the comparative literature. Next slide, please. So it's about women literature. Women literature has often been defined by publisher as a category of writing done by a woman. The focus on relationship in articles about women affect internal linking and therefore search engine results. Usually, women literature is all about women, women who write about women, and usually it has the structure how to write down about women. First one is women's health and bodies. First, you should use an authoritative medical image whether possible. This means that you have to be rational and you have to be factual about this. Second one, make sure the image accurately represent the topic and would not mislead reader. So the picture you choose should be the things that really matter in your literary work. It's not going to be misled into something else. And the third one is check that the image and that the source of the image can be trusted. So you cannot just get or download the images that is not cannot be trusted, or the images just from internet anonymously. You cannot use that because it cannot be trustable and it cannot be it cannot be a right copyright. Next, what you should do in women literary is avoid images that objectively women. In particular, do not use pornography image in articles that are not about pornography. Manual of style or image state that for photograph taken in a pornography context would normally be inappropriate for articles about human anatomy, except when the topic is necessarily tied to it. So you should be careful about the topic you choose, and you should careful about the images that you will use to your articles because it can be lead to inappropriate things. Just like how you use it's like you want to introduce about human anatomy in women or woman reproduction, and you choose the images that lead to the pornography. It is going to be misleading your reader, and also it's inappropriate for everyone who read your article. So you should acknowledge how to use the image properly, whether it is going to be a topic about pornography, or you're not going to use the pornography picture, or something that topics you talk about human anatomy, don't make it lead into the pornography. So you should details about your image, the choosing of your the image, and also the choosing of your topic. Next, when adding an image of part of a woman's body, consider cropping the image to focus on that body part. So when you are talking about human anatomy and you want to explain about woman hand, just use woman hand. So you need to consider cropping the image to focus on that things, to detail about that things, rather than you use full of it because it can be misleading to something. So when you do talk about body part of human like lips, like eyes, just use or crop that picture. Next, because this is somewhat woman literature that usually who write on women is mostly women, then we're gonna talk about men writing about women. As a man who has written a novel from a female perspective, it is certainly disconcerting to see hundreds of women declare that such a venture is not only doomed to fail, but perhaps worthy of ridicule. So, mostly male is hard to write down about women because woman perspective to woman literature is important rather than man itself because male perspective is mostly analysis from themselves or it's hardly really acknowledged about that. So it is going to be hard if men write down about women, but it is not impossible because this is possible if men write down about women, but they meet the criteria that already I explained before, how to use images, how to use certain things on human literature. One study found that women are more linked to men than men are linked to women. When writing an article about a woman, if you include an internal link to an article about a man, consider visiting the letter to check that it includes reciprocal information about their relationship. So it is just really I mean like controversy things that you should remind yourself if you want to write down an article. So that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you guys have a good day and cheers.